Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the replay. Thanks for joining me today for another card. We have our textured leaves out today because you know this is one of my favorites. But I want to do some inking on the background with some not so traditional colors, just to see if we can get just a little bit of a different look, and definitely get a different look with the gold embossing powder. So let me get that shared over to the group and get it ready. And I think now I can see everything. Everything should be good. Okay. Whew. Alrighty there, and there we go. So I have already cut a piece of, this is actually the French vanilla cardstock. It was the first one I grabbed instead of white daisy, but I don't think it's going to matter because we are inking. So I already cut it down to about 4 by 5 1/4, something like that. Something that I'll be able to cut down even further with my stitched rectangle. So I'm going to take my stamps. Well, first of all, I'm going to take my anti-static pouch and be sure and get that powder all over my card, because we don't want anything to stick unless it's a stamped image. Okay. And get my Versamark out. I got lots of extra stuff here that doesn't belong. So let me move that over. Get some blocks here. So I'm going to start, I guess, with the biggest leaf that I'm going to go with. Hey, Marta. And so we've kind of done this before. We're just going to do some random stamping and then emboss that. So I'm putting that little spongy part underneath my paper because I'm going to stamp off the edges, and I don't want it to get all over that piece. So, hey Martha. Yes, I'm glad you made it too. Hi Mary. Okay. So I really want to fill in this card. Maybe what I should do is do one at a time so I can kind of work my way there. And I am going to kind of turn it all different ways. Let's try this funny one. So I'm trying to just lift this up and get an indication of where my stamps are. Because obviously I can't see them. I'm going to put that there on the edge. Now I'm going to use a smaller one to fill in a little bit there. Just going to say, I'm either missing some blocks or I need to order some more. Okay, so I'm kind of filling in I'm going to put another one of these in there. It looks kind of cool. And maybe the tip of this can go in. So I definitely have a background full of the leaves. So we should get a lot of nice gold embossing out of it. If I can find my sheet. There it is. Okay. Let me pull up my sleeves here. Hey, Mom. Okay. So let me find a little spot where I can put my finger and hold it down. And make sure and cover it all up. Okay. So I do see just a couple of little extra areas. I'm just gently rubbing it off with my fingertip and blowing it off. Now, probably won't matter too much once I start inking up that background. But I do want it as just as clean as possible. Okay, I'm gonna set this down and clean this up so that we don't lose any of this powder, because this is a big old jar. There we go. Hey, Nelly. Okay. And a little feather duster here. Get everything nice and clean. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my tweezers so that I can hold that up. I don't see... There they are. Okay, because I don't think that I can hold this card without burning myself. So even just like this, it already looks good. I mean, the French vanilla, the gold embossing, can't really go wrong. It's so satisfying to watch, just seeing that powder turn. overall pretty good. Not too many overlapping areas. Pretty clean. Okay, so now this is where it's gonna get interesting. And move all this stuff. I pulled out the chip sapphire, mustard seed, candied apple, spiced marmalade, and antique linen. So kind of like some primary colors going on here. But should give us some interesting results. And I think I'm going to start with the lighter color first and then build up, because it's hard to take away the dark colors once you got them on, but you can cover up light colors. So we've got our little pad, ink pads velcroed onto the back. Super helpful. And I'm just gonna come and give it a couple of areas, because I don't know exactly how the colors are gonna blend together. Hey Maria, definitely. Yes, yes, I know. It's a little too cold for me. We had to turn on the heater for a little bit. I'm sure it's not gonna last too long. No, I don't have very much working area here. And I picked up more colors that I might need. Yeah, so it's a little bit cold for me. I'm not sure how I'm liking it. I know, should have done that a little bit more to the outside. So now you're thinking, well, that's not really changing too much. I mean, these are kind of fall colors. It's adding in that blue that's gonna give us some, hopefully some little wow effects. Definitely changes up the look of the colors. There we go. Just blending that out. I don't want any harsh lines. I want it all to just blend in from one color to the next. I really like how that orange shows up right there. I'm going to come back in with my orange, but I'm not going to add any more to my sponge. I'm just going to blend it out. Beautiful. So far, so good. I'm going to add a little bit more of this candied apple and maybe, ooh, there was plenty on there. Maybe add it over to this other corner. That orange is still looking super pretty. Okay. A little bit of yellow, brighten up the yellow. Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Let me pull all these to the side. And I want to, well, I want to cut it. Do I need to cut it first? Let me look. I want to add some brown around the edges. Now we don't have a brown, what do you call it? We don't have a brown Distress Oxide. So I'm just using our regular espresso, and a soft brush to kind of bring in a darker color around the edges before I cut it. And we might still have to add that brown back once we do cut it, just for a little bit more of a distinct edge. So it gives it a nice blend that out. There we go. We've got this warm, very warm, but you can still see your blues and your reds and oranges and everything. It's looking super, super good. I'm going to add that second piece because I'm going to run it through the die cut and get our stitched rectangle out of it. So, just 1 second. Lining everything up. I like to send everything through. I roll it through once forward and then roll it through backwards just to give it, make sure it cuts, especially when I'm cutting 2 pieces at once. And I cut 2 pieces at once because, well, it saves me from having to feed it twice. Okay, this is what I'm going to use for the inside of the card because I'm using a blue background. And then here's what we've got for that final card front. I think you can see all those pretty, pretty colors. I do want to come back through with a little bit of the blue. I'm not going to add any more. I'm just going to use whatever's on the ink pad and just darken that up because I love how it's looking. So then I didn't add any green, and yet right here where the blue and the yellow mix, we get a green color. So it just comes in by itself, which is perfect. We're not having to add any additional colors. but super, super pretty. I'm just going to rub it with this brush again. That if there's any extra brown on it. Okay. So, what I cut out, no, I haven't cut it out yet. What I thought for a background for this is a nice, I think this is either Dusty Rose or Paprika. No, it's cinnamon. Cinnamon, sorry. There's a Desert Rose. So it's the cinnamon color. I think it looks good. So we're gonna go with that color. And I'm gonna cut it just barely to give it an edge. So we need like, it's 3 3/4 inches. So I go to the next 1/8. Make sure my cardstock is even. And then I know it's 5 inches, so I go to that 1/8. Then I can add that on right there. Now, I'm going to take that brown brush and see if I can't get that edge just a little bit, not quite so stark, but maybe not. That's okay. And our adhesive right here. Hey Maria, did I say hello? I'm sorry. I did. I saw your name pop up and now I can't even remember if I said hello. This gold embossing just really, really pops. We haven't even done the secret magic part, which is to add our water. But I don't think I'm going to add water. I think what I'm going to do is see if I can add some little, what do you call it? Some little drops using our shimmer brush. And it's the toffee one. Just to see how it will activate with the liquid in it. But it'll also give it some shine. It's not really activating the way I would like. I'm going to take my water and just let it play on there. And quickly take a paper towel and get that off. It's going to react and activate and give us some oxidation. I can speak. Hey, Christy. There we go. So it really just kind of took away some of that and gave us just really some more texture to it. And we still have the shininess from that toffee from our toffee shimmer brush. Looks really, really good. I wish you could really see it in person because all those water spots and everything, it just feels like it has a texture, even though it's obviously smooth. Let me dry that off. Dry it down real quick. Yes, the gold really gives it a really neat color. I'm sure even with silver it would look good, and with copper. I tried it with the fine embossing powder, but I wonder if we were to use the tinsel, how it would come out. I bet it would. I mean, because you would definitely feel the texture on that. I think that would be really good. Okay, so I'm going to find, if I can find, my string somewhere back here. No? Where did I put it? See, you can be looking for something, and I bet it's right in front of me, and I'm not finding it. Hold on. I could go with this blue, but it kind of clashes with that. And I have some browns somewhere. It's gray, black, and beige. Like, guys, my room is clean. Why can't I find things? Okay, give me 2 more seconds. And if it doesn't pop out at me, then we're gonna have to move on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, no! I can't believe this. I can't believe it. I know, I'm still looking because I'm desperate to find it. I just had it here. Oh, that's so frustrating. Okay, so then let's see what I do have on hand. I have some gold thread. Just don't feel like it makes as much of an impact. I'm still like searching in this thing, but I don't see it. And that's such a shame. Okay, so we can use some gold thread. We still do need a sentiment. And let's see. I've got this stamp set, You Brighten My Day, but it kind of doesn't feel very autumnish. I also have this Thank You Kindly that we could stamp onto a circle or a square. Let's see if I've got anything extra around here. I do have a silver leaf, but man, that would take up a huge chunk of real estate, so that's not a good choice. Okay. Let's see here. We can do a stitch circle. That'll get us through, and we can do that in the French vanilla. kind of dark. It's kind of light. I mean, let me cut that out. And I'm just going to cut it out of that corner of my big old sheet. It's okay. I don't mind. But I know I can still cut down the sheet for other projects. I also tend to buy the black, the white daisy, and this French vanilla in... Will that work? Yes. I buy it in bulk because I know that it's going to be backgrounds and stuff. And so I know that I need plenty of it. We could also do this in the gold. We can definitely do it in gold. Embossing block. We need a block. Okay. Embossing, or not embossing, but we need our anti-static. Embossing ink. Like my eyes are traveling around my room. Like, where could it be? Where could it be? Thank you kindly. Okay. A little bit of embossing powder. Pour that back in real quick. Phew, I have quite a mess building up though. And that goes over here. And heat set. Okay. So it's going to be pretty stark. Sitting on there. So I'm going to use just a little bit of the brown espresso ink to go around the edges. Just to kind of warm it up. There we go. That's a nice little grungy edge. Kind of feels more in the mood with the rest of the paper. Okay. Okay. So, what I'm going to do with my gold, I'm going to take it and just, let's see here. I just unravel a few rounds. And so I'm just going to make a few loops around my fingers. And let me cut that off. And so I just kind of want it to be like a little bit of a messy configuration to go behind my card. And so what I need to do is get those edges to cooperate. And let's see there. Somebody had a little tip. To add a little bit of oh no, I keep doing it. A little bit of washi tape. There you go. Because it's going to be hidden behind anyway. Oh, it's okay, Karen. Still going strong. My card's taking a little bit of extra time today because I'm working and deciding. See, now we've got that little bit that will stay. And we can just put it here. We can add it with our foam tape. Is that wide? Whoa, that was a little bit more than necessary. We just kind of keep all that in place. Take this off. It kind of gives it a little bit of extra gold something something. That's gonna actually be a waste, I guess. And now this whole piece I'm gonna add onto this, but with some craft foam. I find my craft foam. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So this foam tape, remember I told you it's in the kids craft section at Walmart. It's super cheap. And you can cover the whole back of that card instead of wasting your expensive foam tape. I really need to. I've got to press down hard enough to get those dots to stick. But they are sticky. Real quick while we're here, let's add this to the inside. so that you have a place to write. I think it's, you know, you have to remember that detail. Sometimes it's easy to forget that you need to make sure the inside of your card is functional. So far, so good. Let's see. I swear, I know as soon as I shut off this camera, I'm going to find that string that I originally wanted. I'm going to be mad. Not your fault. But I thought I had it all here together in one place, so my bad, my own fault for that. I do have these gems. I still believe in having some bling, even though we've got lots of it on here already. And I will stop there. So, how do you like that? That blue. The blue here, and then with the blue cardstock background, I think really, really warms it up. And then it turns into purple before it turns into that pink. It's got a warm brown edge. Here you get that green where the yellow and the blue meet. Back into this warm red. The orangey shows up here. Turns into a little bit of green too. I guess the orange and the blue have enough yellow. So lots of texture, lots of dimension. You can definitely, I mean, obviously you feel the embossing. We've got all our foam tape, our gold thread here. So, super pretty, I promised you. Oh, and remember we did all that shimmer brush, you know, flicking that shimmer onto it. So the whole card is kind of shiny. Let's see if I can get it close enough. You see in through here in the colored parts, it shimmers, and that's from the shimmer brush. Right there, look at all those colors, and look at how the water lifted it up and gave it all that texture. I mean, it looks like it would feel rough, and yet it's just smooth cardstock. Oh, that right there, I think that's my favorite part of the card. just right there where those colors meet up. Okay, guys, there you go. Thanks for joining me tonight. I have a heck of a mess here to clean up. Like, you don't even want to see it. But it was worth it. It was totally worth it. This card's gorgeous. Thanks for joining me tonight. Tomorrow's already Wednesday. Yay! So, thanks, Karen. So I hope y'all have a good rest of your evening, and I hope you have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.